Ready? Good morning, everyone. Do we have sound? I do the whole spiel again. Nobody heard it, right? Are we good? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, please comment. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Otherwise, I should just silently drink your toast. Sound? We've got sound? Okay. So by now it must be afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm introducing our special Hascat Berry elixir to kickstart your healthy lifestyle again after Chinese New Year. I hope you all had a wonderful Chinese New Year and that, like me, you enjoyed small, intimate groups around Singapore of your friends and loved ones. So Hascat berry juice is very interesting. You can see the beautiful purple color. That's indicative of a high anthocyanin content. That's like blueberries. It's actually known as blue honeysuckle, but it's called Hascat because the Ainu people in Hokkaido, in Japan, recognized its medicinal properties. It's very good for hypertension as well as having the high antioxidant content. And it's actually known as the gold elixir of longevity. So that's how it's marketed in Hokkaido. This one, of course, comes from Siberia. That's Russia now, I suppose. And we're very, very glad to have it here. And today, of course, we're going to have it on offer. So the offer is actually 20% off the normal price. So it comes down from $22.90 to $18.30. So if you want something to kickstart your healthy year, this is a great thing. And it's going to combine with kefir. I'm going to show you the combination with kefir. So I'm going to drink a little bit more of this. Oh, it's good. And then kefir is another wonderful thing, of course, for your gut, because not only does it have the live bacterial cultures, it also has the kefir culture, which can colonize in your gut and really help balance the gut microbiome. So there it is, in combination with kefir. Don't waste. Absolutely delicious. So that's fine. Okay? So that's a very good way to start your day with a glass of that with kefir. So you have the antioxidants and you have the good bacteria and you have the kefir cultures actually going into your stomach. Now, another thing you could do is you could take one of these nice organic yogurts and you could have a bowl of that. There we go. Just take a couple of spoonfuls of that. This is the set Greek yogurt, absolutely no sugars added to it. That's important when you buy yogurt. You don't want all the extra additives that they have popped in there to make you eat more. So you want plain set Greek yogurt with no added sugar, no fruit, no nothing. Okay? And then on top of that, I'm just going to pour a little bit of the Hascat berry juice. I'm going to get that lovely purple color again. There we go. Just going to stir that in. We also make popsicles with this. So there's a recipe for the popsicles on our website. That's using cashew milk. So if you can't take dairy, remember you can have things like cashew milk. There we are. You can see it probably in there. Yeah. There we go. Very good. Then I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of toasted almonds. These are very nice, organic, raw Australian almonds. On the top of there like that. And I've got something very interesting to show you here. These are actually freeze-dried Hascat berries. So here you go. Choose a normal-looking one there. There's a Hascat berry. See, freeze-dried. Just going to put a few of those on the top. A little bit more of a boost. And if you want something even more exotic, we've got our really nice quinoa crisps that they've made up in Kluang. The research and development team is working very hard with the organic ingredients up there. Okay. And here you have very nice quinoa crisps. You can probably see there's sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds in there as well. So I'm just going to crumble a couple on top. There we go. Very nice. And there you have a really nice breakfast. Can you see? And so simple, no cooking involved. All you had to do was stir. So I'm going to give that to my support over there, and I'll get on with the next thing. All right. So, Hascat berries. Special offer, 20% off the juice today during the line. Is there a special code for them to just put Hascat and order your boost? All right. So the little picture that I sent out when I invited a few people to join was of cabbage soup. Now, cabbage soup is a wonderfully healing soup. Cabbage itself, of course, is full of fiber, which of course is what you need for a healthy gut. And then we're going to be adding Thai carrots, beautiful chopped Thai carrots, and onions. And we're going to add fennel because that's another thing that's very, very good for the gut. So I'm going to start off just by stir frying. And I'll start the soup first. I'll tell you why, because I'm then going to go and make you some lemonade to try. Okay. So this is our cabbage soup, very simple cabbage soup. Anybody can cook this. This is really designed for everybody. It is on. Yeah, my mic's on. You can't hear me? Is it Diane? Can you hear me now? Hello, hello? Okay. Well, it's a new beginning. Don't worry. My cheat sheet. Yep. Here I am. Can you hear me? Nothing happening, right? Try plugging everything in. Receiving? Can you hear me now? You don't know because you don't have your earpiece in, right? Okay. Hopefully you can hear me now. Okay, well the heat's coming up. I've got my wonderful, Simply Natural, organic extra virgin oil here. And it's just warming up. You can see the radiant heat underneath. nicely. There we go. Just coat them in the olive oil. Are you hearing me? Okay. So the carrots, of course, have the beta-carotene in. Beta-carotene is fat soluble, so you need a little bit of fat to really digest those things and have them bioavailable. That's very nice. So now I'm going to put a teaspoonful of the fennel seeds also. So we're going to toast the fennel seeds. There we go. Just a level teaspoonful. You don't need a lot. There we go. Just brings out the aromas. Can you smell it yet? It's amazing how the smells travel. Sometimes somebody will just walk in the door and they go, "Oh, it smells so good." Very good. And we're going to add one chopped onion. That's one of those beautiful brown onions that comes in from Holland. Going with our Thai carrot. There we are. I'm just going to basically stir fry that until the onion goes transparent. And then this morning, I've actually made some broth. You can make any broth that you like. You can make a chicken bone broth, a lamb bone broth. I happen to have had a smoked hock of pig, so that's what I put together. There you go. Thank you. Our delivery service going out there. Okay. A little bit of caramelization, of course, doesn't hurt. The onions, as they cook, turn sweeter, which is very nice. Okay. So I'm just going to pour in the broth now. Awesome. And what we're making, of course, is a healing cabbage soup. So in order to do that, we should have cabbage too, right? And I have a very special cabbage today. This is the Savoy cabbage. It's got a beautiful crinkly texture. It's often used to make stuffed cabbage leaves. So you could have a nice savory filling with the leaves wrapped around it, and then you just bake it in the oven. It used to be something that I would have sometimes as a child for school dinners, and I loved them. They were amazing. What I'm doing today is I'm just going to slice it, and then I'm going to add it to the broth and cook it for about 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, the broth looks very nice. Okay, so let's cut the cabbage, because the important thing with vegetables, of course, is not to cut them too early, because then you lose the water-soluble vitamins. And we want as many of the water-soluble vitamins as possible, because, of course, we can't store them in the body. So the B vitamins and the C vitamins, you need to make sure that you're having a little bit every day to keep the body running nicely. Vitamin C, of course, is very, very necessary for healthy skin, as well as to boost the immune system. There we go. It's just beautiful cabbage. It's a winter cabbage. So you see it sort of the end of winter, beginning of spring. Absolutely beautiful cabbage. You can eat it raw, of course. In fact, cabbage doesn't lend well to being overcooked. It goes a bit kind of bitter and stinky, so we must be careful not to overcook our cabbage. There we go. Squeaky cabbage. So that's a whole small cabbage that's going in. 1 Thai carrot and 1 brown onion. It's just coming up to simmer now. And I'll set the timer as soon as I've got all the cabbage in. Cabbage is coming down actually from Malaysia, I suspect, the Cameron Highlands. And I was absolutely thrilled when I saw it because, of course, it brings back memories of my childhood because Dad used to grow them in the garden. So we would wait for them to grow big enough so we could eat them. Like a little bit of cabbage, steamed with butter and black pepper. This time we're putting it into the ham hot stock. Kind of rhymes, doesn't it? Ham hot stock. There we go. Very good. And that's just enough to cover the cabbage, okay? So you saw how simple it was. Very, 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 very easy. And it's phenomenally good for you because the cabbage not only contains the fiber to help with regular bowel movements, it also has something which I will check here. Very exciting. Okay, it's got your isothiocyanates as usual, which are the anti-cancer substances. It is, of course, diuretic, so it helps doing detox. And it has something called L-glutamine. Now, L-glutamine actually improves the gut flora. L-glutamine improves the gut flora and it's very beneficial in IBS and leaky gut syndrome. So cabbage is well known for healing the stomach and, of course, the gut. Okay, pop the lid on that. And I'm going to set it for 20 because, as I mentioned, I don't want it overcooked. Very good. Let's start that. All right. Now, because this is Singapore, I do have some chilies, but my friend apparently doesn't like chili that much, so I'm only going to be putting 1 in. So later, when it's a little bit more along, we'll check the taste and add some salt, and we'll add the chilies in, yeah? Very good. Sorry? Oh, who says hi? Oh, Watty, nice to see you. We had a bit of problems with the microphone to begin with, but I think it's working again now. Great. Nice to know I'm not speaking to the dark universe, as it were. That's super. All right. Now, one of the other things that's really, really good for you when you're wanting to start a new healthy regime are lemons. Okay, now lemons are really, really, really good because of the vitamin C, but also because they help flush out the liver. So I have this wonderful machine behind me, which seen me use before, and I'm just going to use it on turbo. But before I do that, I just want to talk to you a little bit about lemons, because all organic lemons are special. These ones come in from Spain, so they're very nice, but they don't have coatings. Now, when I was living in Germany in the 90s, which is a long time ago now, the cookbooks were actually saying unbehandelte Zitrone every time they mentioned using lemons and lemon skin. And unbehandelte means lemons without junk on them. That means without wax of any kind, without pesticides, because you don't want the pesticides going into your food, and without the disinfectants that they put on and the things to preserve it when it goes for a long distance ride on a ship or something. We generally air fly the lemons in so that it's easy to cope with selling them when they have a much shorter shelf life. Remember, an awful lot of what is done in the food industry is done to extend shelf life. Okay? So organic lemons, no junk, right? So that's very important. I'm just going to mention a couple of nasties that are normally put on lemons. There's something called imazalil, which is a fungicide, which is carcinogenic as well as a developmental and reproductive toxin. So if you want to have children, that's not something you want to be eating. Okay, and the other one is thiabendazole, which is another fungicide, which is considered carcinogenic. Again, a developmental and reproductive toxin. Then it could also be coated with a disinfectant, which is something called orthophenylphenate, which again is not something you want to be eating. So please, if you're going to do this lemonade, make sure you're doing it with organic lemons, okay? So here's our Thermomix. I've got 1 litre of water in there, and I'm putting 2 lemons quartered into it. And then I'm just going to do it for 2 seconds on turbo. Where's my turbo? There it is. Okay. 2 seconds. Okay, terribly noisy, but only short. Back to home, and it will open and allow me then to get all those wonderful things. Now, you not only have the vitamin C in the lemon juice, you also have the bioflavonoids in the pith, and you have the limonene in the skin itself. Lemon is actually very uplifting. So it's not only good for detoxing, but it can lift your spirits. There's nothing like the smell of lemon oil to really cheer you up. I know when I open them, I kind of go, oh, it's nice. Okay, so I've just strained that using the sieve of the Thermomix, because in the lemon juice itself, there is also fiber, pectin, which is another thing that's very beneficial for the body because it helps, again, to take the toxins out of the body. So we want the fiber. Now, I haven't put any sugar in here at all. It is possible to drink it like this because I do. But what I would like to recommend, if you don't like just sour lemons, we have a really, really beautiful honey, again in from Spain. So we've got Spanish honey to go with the Spanish lemons. And this is a lavender honey. So lavender, of course, is very good for the nerves. And you have the uplifting nature of the lemon itself. So this should be a very nice drink. Now, of course, either ceramic spoon or wooden spoon for the honey, not metal. I'm just going to put 1 or 2 spoonfuls of honey, dear. 1 or 2? 1. Okay, so 1 it is. Very good. And I'll give you a whole glass of lemon. do you think of that? Stirring the honey in. There. And it's always best with any juices to, of course, drink them straight away. So there we go. There's one for you. I'm going to check it out later. Lemons also $6.40 for 2 pieces. So if you're interested in the lemons, you can also order the lemons. The Savoy cabbage is $11 per kg. Very good. And our soup is doing nicely. Still nice and bright green. How's that? Can drink? Okay, very good. So don't forget, no need to have sugar. You can have the beneficial properties of organic raw honey made from lavender flowers. So here's mine. Go. Just one. I'm very pro bees because I actually think the honey is one of the most amazing things on the planet. And it's terrifically good for you. So then we have the goodness of the honey and the goodness of the fresh lemon. Stir that. Still got some honey on there, but that's fine. There we go. Ah, amazing. Amazing. Spanish lemons, Spanish organic raw honey. Of course, they were organic lemons as well, don't forget that. Oh, very good. Okay, so we've had our Hascat berry, which of course is good for the whole immune system, the elixir of life, if you like, good for hypertension. We've had the lemon to help cleanse the liver and boost the vitamin C. Vitamin C, of course, necessary to have fine skin because the vitamin C in combination helps to boost the collagen. And we have something in asparagus that I want to mention. It's something called glutathione. And people talk about it being like the master antioxidant. So it's very interesting that there are certain foods that have a high amount of glutathione in. One of those is asparagus. These are, probably seen it normally in this form here, the asparagus. Again, that comes in from Thailand, like the carrots. And it's commonly green here. When I lived in Germany, of course, we get fat white asparagus from Belitz, which is absolutely to die for. But you have to be very, very careful how you cook it. Now, the interesting thing is, again, the more you cook glutathione, the less available it is for you. So just like the B and the C vitamins, you don't want to cook it very much. So we do have a recipe on the website again, which is a banya corda recipe. And I've just lightly steamed the asparagus for that. And we've made a delicious sauce, again, with the olive oil and Spanish garlic, of course, and anchovies. So that's a very traditional dressing then for the raw and steamed vegetables. So we took the baby carrots and steamed them, the asparagus and steamed them. Then we've got red capsicum, we've got peppers, and cucumber, all kinds of things. You'll see the recipe on the website. Very delicious. But what I also want to tell you is you can actually eat asparagus raw. Did you know that? No. So, and I double checked it because I've eaten it raw, and I double checked it, and yes, by eating it raw, you actually benefit from having more glutathione. Okay, so just to prove it, I wanted to just slice a few. You could easily slice it and put it into a salad. Okay, like that. There we go. You want to try? Come on. You have to be my support. Just a little one, okay? Anna? Not too bad, right? Right. It actually tastes a little bit like sweet peas. Now, the interesting thing about asparagus is it's very, very beneficial for the kidneys because it's a diuretic. So we have the cabbage soup, good for the stomach and the gut in general. We have the asparagus, which is good for the kidneys. Okay, we've got lemons, which are good for the liver. We've got a hascat berry, which of course is good for the heart because it's good for hypertension. And then we have one last thing before the pinger goes for the soup. And that, of course, is avocado. Avocado, we get in sometimes from Australia, sometimes from Mexico. We basically get in where we can a nice organic avocado. The Hass avocado, of course, is the preferred avocado. And this has the healthy fats. Okay, so this has glutathione again, just like the asparagus. So remember that the master antioxidant, it's also high in fiber. And of course, we don't cook avocado. Have you ever had cooked avocado? I've never had cooked avocado. Okay, so we always eat it raw, but ripe. Okay, this one I can't open because it's not ripe yet. But because we eat it raw, we have the benefit of everything without it being reduced by cooking. Basically, what happens very often is that the longer you cook something, the less good it is for you. Also, the higher the temperature, the less good it is for you, she said, as she put the temperature down for the soup. Okay, the soup will be nearly ready. So avocados, again, very, very good to kickstart your healthy lifestyle. Healthy fats, fiber, glutathione, and of course they're yummy, right? Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So that's the recipe basically for starting after Chinese New Year. We hope we've covered everything, right? We've got, of course, heart healthy avocados because it's monounsaturated fatty acid, just like the monounsaturated fatty acid in the olive oil. So we're using everything that I can think of that is good for you and clean. So I think it's about time to just check the soup because I have to add some salt. It's very nearly done to me. How are we doing with the time? Any good? Yeah, very nice. Okay, so I'm going to leave the lid off. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, very nice. Okay. So I'm not quite sure what the timing is, but to me that looks good enough. Oh, just 6 minutes to go. I think I'm just going to stop it there and add some salt, and then we'll taste it. Okay, so I'm going to do the chef's pinch of salt rather than measuring it, and then I'm going to stir it and taste it again. There's a milky broth that I got from the ham hock, which is quite delicate. Very, very nice. Want me to put the chilies in? Can I? Okay. Just one chili. Add a little bit of colour. Can you see that? There you go. Good job. Okay, so that would just get a little tiny bit of spiciness. Yesterday we made it without, but could eat, right? Okay. Very nice. Okay. Check this again for the level. Oh gosh, yes. Oh, that was just one. Oh, yeah, really. I'm going to put a little bit more salt in, I think, because the spice is a bit overpowering. Okay. So that was just one of our Supreme Bird chilies. Again, chili is one of those creatures that unfortunately in conventional farming is horribly sprayed. So very beneficial if you can to get hold of organic chilies. In Singapore, we eat a lot of chili, so I really hope you listen to that. Okay. Cabbage is cooked. Okay. All right. So I think we'll just serve that. Let me know what you think with the chilies. I hope I haven't overdone it for you. There we go. Nice amount of veggies. Some broth. Awesome. Can. All right. Don't be too shocked, huh? At the chili, huh? Just eat. Chef needs somebody who wants to eat. Otherwise, there's no point in having a chef, right? Can? Yep. All right. Yummy. Wonderful. Very, very simple. You saw how easy. You can, of course, do vegetarian stock. There's a really, really nice steamboat stock you can use that was developed up in the organic park. Yeah, can, right? Very nice. Okay, so just to recap, we had, how was the yogurt, by the way? Okay, we had yogurt and Hascat berry topped with quinoa crisps. This is a new product, quinoa crisps, very, very nice. Research and development did that. And toasted almonds, so very nice organic Australian raw almonds on top of organic yogurt with Hascat berry juice. And this was the kefir, the Hascat berry juice. Still tastes good. This was our soup that we started making. This was the asparagus that you have the recipe for on your corner on the website. And of course, you can eat it raw. It tastes very much like sweet peas, and of course, it's very, very good for the kidneys. You have the lemon, which is the instant lemon juice with our wonderful Spanish organic lavender honey. So I've done my best, hopefully, to introduce you to some things you can start with your healthy lifestyle. Just want to mention a few other things. When you can't find the Savoy cabbage, you can, of course, use the normal English cabbage. You could use the red cabbage, which is actually also, you can see, packed full of purple antioxidants, so another very beneficial thing. And of course, you can use the wong bok. So when you don't find the Savoy cabbage, I love it because it's very delicate. seed, we actually boil fennel seeds with water to make like a gripe water. We wait until, of course, until it cools down, and that helps the baby's stomach. So that's something also very soothing for the digestion. And, of course, something else that's very good for digestion, black pepper, which you can have with your soup. Would you like some? No, the chili's enough. Yesterday we had it with the black pepper. All right. So thanks very much for your attention. I hope you will consider using one of these products to start the year the way you need to go on, which is with a very healthy lifestyle. Thank you very much. Yeah, Haskap elixir, yes. Don't forget our Haskap elixir. Very good. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.